They are very happy in Philadelphia because of what happened on the basketball court last night. It was all Philly in Game 3 against the Raptors, and Joel Embiid had himself a night. The big man had 33 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks. He was rocking the baby. He was blocking Kawhi Leonard. He was hitting threes. He was celebrating. He was doing everything, and he finished the night with a big dunk down the middle. I mean, he had a shimmy. It was a great night for Embiid. Remember Game 1 when Marc Gasol held him to 0 for 6? Doesn't feel like that's happening anymore. What can the Raptors do to slow Embiid moving forward in this series?
Well, you got to attack him on the defensive end. And if he's allowed to sit in the paint and really doesn't have to show out and recover and make a lot of multiple efforts, he's going to have a lot of energy on the offensive end. And he obviously did. Now, the one thing that makes Joel Embiid special that you have to realize, he has an elite mix of size and speed and mobility. Guys that big are not supposed to be able to move the way that Joel Embiid does. So you've got to make him work. You've got to test out that knee. And that's something that they didn't do. Now, granted, once he's at home, he turns into a different monster. This is a man who loves the lights. But Toronto, they have to be better on the offensive end to have a shot.
One thing about Joel Embiid is you can tell whether he's having a good game or a bad game just from his body language. Like, once he starts rolling, especially when he's at home, as you mentioned, once he starts rolling, like, there's nothing you can stop. He plays off the crowd. He has fun out there. He's smiling. And you remember a couple games in the Nets series when he wasn't playing well, he starts to sort of shrink and kind of like slow down. But when he's hot, he is so hot, especially at home. That's why I think Philly will win Game 4. Now, one thing that everybody says about Philly is they obviously have an extremely talented starting 5, but they added 2 of those 5 mid-season, so people have questions about their chemistry, and that was addressed after the game. Let's listen.
Chemistry is overrated. When you have, great basketball players on the floor, it's easy. It's not that complicated, and we all willing passers. We play we're so unselfish. We understand that it's all about moving the ball.
Chemistry is overrated? What does that mean, Ryan?
That is Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers trying to psych themselves out, saying, even though we do not have the comfort of knowing where each other is going to be on the floor and having each other's backs and, knowing what plays to run and when we're down 2 or if we're up 3, who do we get the ball to and where do we have them with the basketball? That's chemistry. That's knowing what is going to happen. The Philadelphia 76ers are doing a lot of guessing. They're figuring things out. Hey, do we put the ball in Ben Simmons' hands? No. Do we give it to Jimmy Butler? No. Do we give it to Joel? We have a lot of good problems, which Brett Brown has, but chemistry is an issue where you want to see where players fit. How do you get the most out of them? So it's a good thing and a bad thing because these guys are still figuring each other out. And the question is, will they have enough time?
Do you think they win this series against the Raptors?
This is tough.
You know that.
I don't think you just make this a landslide. I do agree that it is a matter of chemistry. What do I mean? You know what you're going to get out of the Raptors. And Kawhi Leonard is a guy who can literally fit in any system. So there are no issues. What do I mean by that? Kawhi Leonard is a lockdown defender. He can space the floor and shoot, and he breaks you down one-on-one. This was a seamless transition. Now, because of Ben Simmons, because of Joel Embiid, you had to be very delicate about how you fit guys into that Philadelphia system. So even though they're incredibly talented, Brett Brown has his hands full trying to make it work. Ben Simmons doesn't shoot jumpers. Joel Embiid is best when he finishes in the paint. And what he's done in the last game was he worked from the top of the key, from the elbows, from the three-point line, playing in space. Why? Allowing the distance between he and Ben Simmons, and you ended up getting the most out of Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers.